So hello kids! We're trying to not be kids. Welcome back to another Adulting 101. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you my very long overdue video on what and what not to buy for your first apartment. Before we get started, I do want to preface, because some people on the internet are stupid, that this is obviously just my thoughts. Just things I did or did not do. So if you insist on having a 6-foot tall teddy bear in the corner of your home decor, who am I to tell you not to do that? But for those of you that have a bit more of a tighter budget, fresh out of school, you're not making any money, you don't have a mom or a boyfriend or a significant other that's paying for your stuff, or maybe they are, they're just stingy. Whatever your reasoning, if you have a budget or a tighter budget that you are trying to stick within, it is good to kind of have an idea beforehand of things to buy and not to buy, just so you're not wasting a bunch of money on stuff that you don't really end up using and could have just got later down the line. So to begin, hi. No matter where you're at, something that I would buy is a bed. I know a lot of people who have done the whole mattress on the floor thing, people that are still doing the whole mattress on the floor thing, and that's fine. If you gotta do whatever you gotta do. And I have faith in you. In a couple years, you'll be making enough money, you can buy a king-sized double master bunk bed if you want. So I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus. Beds cost like $50. Like, it is not that deep. I am in no way, shape, or form saying that you should buy a nice bed. I don't even think you should buy a headboard. All you want is an average, a fine bed. And I know a lot of people are like, well, I'd rather have a mattress on the floor and then save up to get the bed that I really wanted. But here's the thing, nice beds are so expensive. Additionally, they are hard to move. And a lot of the time, even the really nice ones that you get, once you take those apart, they don't go back together. So I'm just saying, a lot of people think that, and then 2 years goes by and you're still sleeping on a mattress on the floor because you've been trying to like fill other areas of your house. I got my bed from IKEA and it comes with drawers and storage underneath me, and I think I spent like $200 on it, give or take. And I have now been using that thing for a couple of years. So even if you do end up spending a little bit of money on this, I think over the long term, it is definitely worth just spending the $100, $200 it was. Your back will thank me later. And speaking of bedding, definitely do buy yourself some nice bedding. People, I've talked to you about this before, and I will probably talk about it again until I am dead. Don't be afraid to spend money on your bedding. This is an acceptable place to spend money. Do you know how long you spend in your bed? Hours. I know who you are. And the great thing about this is that you don't even really have to spend that much money on the scale of things. Pillows, you can get some nice memory foam, cooling, fancy, like any kind of pillow you want from TJ Maxx. For things like duvets and sheets, you also can get from TJ Maxx or even like Target. I have slept on many sheets.
She a nasty girl.
And actually my favorite ones are from Target. Now, where I did spend the majority of my money though, and I have no regrets about it, is on my comforter. I have a very specific fancy hotel brands. I don't even remember because I got it so long ago. It's just so warm. It's like the extra warm variety. All I use is this one comforter and a little threshold sheet, and I am golden in my 60-degree home. But I have had that comforter for a disgustingly long time. I think we're pushing 7 or 8 years at least. It is clean, it's fine, don't worry about it. The only thing out of the bedding world that is sometimes a little questionable is your mattress. I definitely recommend getting a mattress, and at least like a good quality mattress. But the only thing with mattresses that I just recommend keeping in mind is if you don't know how long you're gonna be in an area, or if there's a really good chance that you're going to move, maybe don't spend a ton, that's what I mean, like spend a decent amount, don't screw up your back, but don't spend like $1,000 or $2,000 on a mattress if you think you're gonna move in the next couple years, because mattresses don't fit in cars. And I know people who have spent a lot of money on a mattress because they also believe in spending money on bedding, only to then realize that they're moving in the next year and everything fits in their car except for their mattress, and then they just kind of have to get rid of it. It's just something to kind of keep in the back of your mind. But as for the rest of furniture, I would say your bed is obviously like your basic, really poor core. The circle outside of that, I would definitely include a couch and a coffee table. In my last apartment, I had a very small studio, but I was insistent on getting a couch because I don't like randos sitting on my bed. If you don't have a couch, when you have people over, or even you yourself, where are they gonna sit other than on your bed? So again, don't feel like you need to spend the most amount of money on this. I actually got my couch from World Market on sale, was a very affordable price. And like I said, I recommend a coffee table too, because this kind of provides as your dining room table or just like any other need you would have for a surface. If you were to go a little bit further than that, I would include maybe a bookshelf or a dresser. This kind of depends on your apartment, because if you don't have have any storage or any space, obviously you're gonna need to like move those up in the list. But some places do come with like a lot of closet space that it doesn't even make sense to have a dresser. In my last apartment, there wasn't really a space for it, so I actually ended up putting my dresser in the closet because I already had one. And that's all the large furniture. But keep in mind size when you buy things, because chances are you might be moving again soon. And you're young, you're beautiful. Who knows where life is gonna take you? So I know that there are other things that you probably are going to want. I'm not saying don't buy them, but something to keep in mind is if you do just get the basics covered, which is what I am recommending to you, is that gives you time to search and to find other things that you really want for a much cheaper price. For example, I really wanted this giant heavy marble coffee table from CB2. Still have it, it's cute. But that thing is expensive. Once I had an idea of relatively the time that I was gonna be moving out, I left Craigslist open on my desktop, and every couple of hours would just go over there and refresh a search for the coffee table's exact name. I did this for probably a couple weeks, where I would just, that's what I mean, is every so often when you think about it, just go over there and refresh it. But eventually I found the coffee table that I wanted in really good condition for like a fifth, if not a sixth of the price that it was online. And I'm not saying that you have to do that for every single thing, but it is a good idea if you are okay with the Craigslist world. And even if you're not, just like waiting for things to be on sale or Black Friday or, you know, some kind of coupon code. So I just urge you to fight off that need for instant satisfaction with some of the larger pieces that you want. So for smaller things, this is obviously a little bit different because it's a much smaller scale. Definitely recommend buying is a nice ass vacuum. I'm talking like a cordless, light, easy to get the roof with vacuum. I was fortunate enough to actually be gifted a very nice vacuum, but I use that thing all the time, and having a really nice, easy to use one makes cleaning so much nicer and easier. It's something that you can keep and use for like 5 years, as long as you don't murder your vacuum. So if I were you, if you had anybody that likes you, what I would do is like ask your family at Christmas, like, hey, instead of getting me anything, could you all just pitch in for like a really nice vacuum? Or, you know, like maybe your mom loves you enough to buy you one for your birthday or something. But just saying, good idea. Get yourselves a vacuum. Other smaller kitchen staples like dishes, silverware, plates, definitely buy. What I did is just get a neutral color. A couple plates, a couple dishes, a couple, you know, whatever it is in a neutral color, because then when you do have a little bit more money later on, you can get the more exciting, cute thing that you want that's a little bit more expensive, but it'll still match with whatever neutral tone that you bought initially. Baskets, definitely buy those. Get as many baskets as your heart wants, because these are so crucial for organizing and just like putting like things together. And even if your style does change, where that basket might not be something that you would have bought presently, you can still use it. Just like put it in a closet or somewhere where it's less of a decor piece and more strictly functional. For things that I would not buy, oh my God, don't even get me started on sets. Don't buy, do not. Don't buy sets of things, because most of you are not gonna need it. Chances are your first kitchen is like a 3 by 5 foot space if you're lucky. You do not need 9 different pots and pans. Who do you think you are, Iron Chef? Instead, get 3. Just get 1 nice frying pan, a small pot, and a large pot, unless you use pans a lot, then maybe a medium pot and 2 pans. But stick with 3. You're not gonna need any more. Do your dishes, it'll be fine. And same thing with knives. When do you need 7 different knives? You don't. The only knives you're really ever gonna use is like a small paring knife, a large big daddy knife, and maybe a bread knife. Don't buy a dining room table. You're a millennial, or even worse, Gen X. We don't use dining room tables. I mean, if you do, that's great. I'm glad you're living the life. But if this is your first apartment, don't waste the space. Don't waste your money. We all know you're gonna be eating on the couch while you watch TV. And I'm saying this as somebody that loves actually having like a dining room table and being able to set things up. But for your first apartment, this is more of like a buy later kind of a thing. Don't buy it now. Buy a cheap folding card table. Because I like having a table, I bought one of these and just keep it tucked behind our couch. But when you do want to have people over like a couple times a year when you're having holidays or you are having kind of a dinner party, you can just pull this out, stick a tablecloth on it, slam, bam, thank you ma'am, you got a table. And along kind of similar lines, I know it's really exciting that you have your first home and you want to have people over and you want to decorate and you want to make things cute, but But don't buy like art or rugs, at least not right away. And I'm not saying that you have to live in some sad, bare wall, decrepit home, but if you only have X amount of money, there's a lot of other things that you actually need. And also things like art or rugs are usually very space specific. And the last thing, because this video is getting a little bit long, is try to contain yourself again from going all Martha Stewart on yourself and getting a million different kinds of like serving sets. I didn't do the greatest job of this, but a lot of the stuff that I bought was preemptive and on sale, so I was like trying to tell myself that it was okay. But even as someone that pretty frequently has people over and likes to use all of her nice dishes all the time, I don't have fancy and regular dishes. I just have nice dishes and we use them every day. Gold silverware every day, my dudes. Is again, just like with the dining room table, is you are not going to be using these items as often. So it's just kind of like a misuse of your very few dollars to buy a bunch of serving spoons that you're going to use twice a year. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't ever buy those. It's just initially when you're getting the first things for your apartment, think of the things that you use most often. Try to buy things that you are going to use on more of a regular daily basis. Yeah, that is everything. I hope this made sense. I hope that it helps. I hope you're excited for your first new home. It's gonna be lovely. It's gonna be great. There's probably gonna be some things that are terrible, but that's fine. It builds character. If you have any tips for other people that I missed or you feel like it's crucial to your existence, let people know below. I wasn't really able to cover everything in this, but I think a good rule of thumb is to just remember this is your first apartment. This is not your forever stuff. Don't be just like buying crap to throw out, but don't be afraid to mix some cheaper items with some more expensive items and hold out a little bit for some of the really expensive stuff that you want down the line. Your taste is gonna change, your priorities are gonna change, so don't feel too much pressure about it. But also if you really wanna buy something and you can, follow your heart, man. It's okay, don't be stressed. And yeah, that's everything. So go get yourself a vacuum, kids. Maybe buy a new comforter, but maybe don't. Have a nice day, bye, thank you for watching.
Consider this an invitation to my gangster nation.